Hi, Levanauts, Ellen, and I am going to read you a book today called The Passover Parrot by Evelyn Zussman and illustrated by Catherine Janice Kahn. And this is Hametz. He is the Passover parrot in this story, so he might help me tell the story. He might talk a little bit in this story. Even though he's really a toucan, we're going to use him to be the Passover parrot in the story. All right. One day, our neighbor, Mrs. Brown, knocked on the door. "Good morning," Mama said. "What's that you're holding?" "Your parrot?" "Yes, Mrs. Cohen, I'm moving. Wouldn't you like to keep him?" She noticed me tugging at Mama's skirt, and she pushed the cage into my hand. "For you, Leba, a present." And before Mama could say 7 children and a parrot, Mrs. Brown was gone. I jumped with such delight that I scared the parrot half to death. Mama shook her head. "More things to take care of," she grumbled. "I'll help you, Mama. You'll see." It was shortly before Passover, and Mama was cleaning the house, removing all the chametz, the leavened food that we cannot eat on the holiday. She began to refer to the parrot as "that chametz dika bird," and before long we all called him Chametz. "Can you say the 4 questions in Hebrew?" Papa asked me a few days before the Seder. His eyes and his smile seemed to say, "It's okay if you can't." But Joey was old enough to ask them in English, so I made up my mind to learn them in Hebrew. "Mama, will you listen to me say the 4 questions?" I asked. But Mama was too busy. "Go play in the yard, Leba. Joey will listen to you." I asked Joey. "Why me?" he said. "Ask Saul or Rachel or Fran." "Never mind," I replied. In the end, I chose Chametz. He was never too busy to listen. In fact, he loved it when I practiced. And practice I did, over and over again. "Ma nishtana halayla hazeh," I sang. And Chametz repeated in his squeaky parrot voice. "Ma nishtana halayla hazeh, mikol halelot," I continued. "Mikol halelot," squeaked the parrot. Would Papa be surprised? I could hardly wait for the Seder. At last the day came. David and Fran helped Mama in the kitchen. Rachel and Saul set the table. Joey, Becky, and I checked that everything was in order. "Hagadot?" Joey asked. "Check," I said. "Charoset?" Becky said, sampling some. "Wine?" "There's enough for every cup, and Elijah's too," Papa said as he carried in the case. The guests arrived. Everyone was so dressed up. After we admired the table, we took our places, and Papa began the Seder. He broke the middle matzah, and he put half back under the satin cover. He wrapped the other half in a napkin. "This is the afikomen," he said as he slipped it behind his pillow. "It means dessert. Whoever finds it will get a reward." We all smiled. "Don't worry," Saul whispered to me. "I'll take it when Papa's busy singing, and I'll give it to you, Leba." Joey laughed. He already had taken the afikomen. "Here, Leba, hide it quickly," he whispered. I snatched the napkin with the afikomen and disappeared into my bedroom. As I slipped back into my seat, Papa called, "Quiet, everyone. Leba will ask the 4 questions." I stood on a chair and I began to sing. Manishtana halayla hazeh. And as I paused to take a breath, Hametz, who had been sitting quietly in his cage in the living room, repeated in his squeaky parrot voice, Manishtana halayla hazeh. All eyes turned to Hametz. I tried to continue. Mikol halelu. And the parrot squeaked right after me. Mikol halelu. And my brothers giggled, and the guests laughed too. Take the parrot up to the bedroom, Papa ordered. I did as he said. When I came back, I sang the 4 questions without a single mistake, and the guests clapped and Papa smiled. The sweet singing and the delicious meal took all of my attention, and I soon forgot about the parrot. At last, Papa called for the afikoman so we could finish the Seder. Joey, do you have it? No, Papa. Saul, do you have it? No, Papa. Leba, yes, Papa. May I have it, please? I ran to my bedroom, but there was no afikoman. I looked under the table and under the bed. No afikoman. And there was no parrot either. The cage door was wide open and Hametz was gone. I sat down on the floor and I began to cry. Papa sent Joey and he searched too. And then came Saul. In a minute, he knew exactly what had happened. Follow me, he said. Joey and I followed him down the stairs, through the kitchen, out the back door, into the yard. And there was Hametz, perched on a branch of our tall oak tree, holding the afikoman tight in his beak. Somebody has to climb the tree, Saul said. You better go, said Joey. I might tear my new pants. No, don't go, I said. Let me just talk to Hametz. And then at the top of my lungs, I sang as loudly as I could. Manishtana halayla hazeh. Hametz could not resist. He opened his beak and he repeated word for word. Manishtana halayla. And the afikoman dropped. Did Joey catch it? Did Saul? You'll never believe it, but I caught it myself. Well, what was left of it. When I turned around, the whole family and all of our guests were standing and watching and clapping. As we returned to the house to finish the Seder, we heard echoes of a squeaky voice singing, Manishtana. Hametz had flown quietly back through the window, into the cage, onto the perch, where he stood on one leg practicing for the second night of the Seder. The end.